Anyway, has a fight coming up come Saturday morning. So first I want to talk about that, but I also want to have a very interesting conversation. I think Inoue is the closest thing in this generation we have seen to Floyd Mayweather. Let's talk about it. All right, so first of all, let's talk about his fight come Saturday. He has a mandatory challenge come Saturday night against uh, Alan Picasso. Now Alan Picasso, decent contender. He's a WBC interim champion. If I'm not mistaken, no, I think he was just a silver champ. Okay, so he was a silver champ. He was a contender. He's a highly ranked contender in the WBC. And pretty much he's been waiting for the title shot. He's been getting all these fights in. Most recently he had a fight against Kameda, and Kameda, most recently beat Casemiro. So it's a pretty decent win. Pretty decent opponent overall. I think that obviously his other challenges were better. Cardenas was probably better. MJ Akhmadaliev was better. But this guy, he's undefeated. He's young. Good. Pretty good contender. So I mean, you can't really hate on it. And plus, this is his fourth time fighting this year. So when it comes to this fight, first of all, the card's actually pretty good as well. We got guys like Junto Nakatani on the card. We had Taraji on the card. I don't know if he's still gonna be on the card, but his fight got canceled, and Hayato Tatsumi fight got canceled. This is just crazy. So for the prediction, I have Inoue in a way stopping David Picasso. David Picasso, he's gonna maybe make it a little challenging, but I feel like it's gonna go a little bit how the Luis Neri fight went, except without a knockdown. I don't think Picasso really has the power to drop in a way. In 32 wins, he has 17 KOs. I don't think he really has power like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and he's really going to a decision a lot with a lot of guys. So yeah. And also he gets cracked a lot. In the Kameda fight, Kameda could arguably won that. He had a war with Kameda. Getting caught a lot coming in, getting caught with combinations. He's gonna get slept. I'm gonna be honest, he's gonna get slept. In a way, it's gonna make this look easy. Let's have an interesting conversation now. A lot of guys, when we think about who's the closest fighter to Floyd Mayweather in this era, a lot of people say, it's Devin Haney, it's Shakur, it's Gervonta Davis. No, it's neither of these guys. It's the monster, Inoue. Now, why do I say this? I say this because of how dominant Inoue has been and how non-competitive his fights have been, and also the legacy. A lot of these guys like Devin Haney and Shakur, they don't have the resume or accomplishments of a guy like Inoue. These guys two-time undisputed. This guy went two-time undisputed in a calendar year. In two different divisions, moved up and fought the best two guys immediately. He's really that guy. He has a deep resume. Even starting back from his first 10 fights, he's fighting reigning champions. He's going up in divisions and facing all these champions. The reason why I compare him to say he's the closest thing to Floyd is, just how uncompetitive his fights are, how dominant he is, and how and his legacy, and also the way he's moving up in divisions. Floyd, he moved up a lot in divisions. What is he, a 5-division champion? Yeah, Floyd's a 5-division champion. You know what I'm saying? So is anyways, almost a 5-division champion. He's a 4-division champion, and he started his career at 108, dominating guys down there, then going up all the way now to super bantam, and he's stopped everyone in his tracks. Well, not everyone, he went to a decision a couple times, but he's stopping a lot of these guys, especially these champions. In a way, when he went against Fulton, that was the closest thing we've seen to Pretty Boy Floyd, in my opinion, in the last Like, I mean, ever since Pretty Boy Floyd, obviously, we have never seen nothing as close to that. Such a dominant performance, not really losing around, beating on him, stopping him. You know, he was playing with them. He was dancing on them. You know what I'm saying? He was taunting them. He was beating the dog shit out of Floyd. We haven't seen nobody do that like since Floyd. You know, Floyd when he was beating up on Chop Corley. You know, saying stop crying and fight, and then dropping him, and then also just going and winning a very dominant decision, beating Jab Judah. You know, beating these guys. You know, beating up on Arturo Gotti, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of similar, you know, but when it comes to overall career, you know, no one's taking challenges like, you know what I'm saying, Inoue is. You know, a lot of people try to sit here and downplay his resume. You know, he has a really good resume. You know, he's faced a lot of champions. He hasn't not fought for a title since 2014, 2013. He hasn't not fought for a title since 2013. And he's not only just been he's going up and winning all these titles, he's dominating everybody. He's dominating them. He's stopping them. He's barely losing rounds. You know, similar to Floyd, in my opinion, you know, I'm rewatching a lot of these fights. Floyd's not losing many rounds. You know, there's a lot of these fights where people are saying, oh, this is close. Oh, the Castillo fight. Nigga, that shit wasn't close. The Oscar De La Hoya fight, I mean, it was somewhat close. It was an 8-4 in my opinion. You know, the Shane Mosley fight wasn't really close. You know, a lot of these fights he's having aren't close. In my opinion, those Maidana fights weren't as close as people say. You know, people say he may have lost those. I thought both fights were either like an 8-4 or 9-3. You know, he's not really losing rounds, and same with Inoue. In his first fight, him going to a decision for the first time since when? 2016. He 12-0'd a guy. He 12-0'd MJ Akhmadaliev, a former unified champion. You know, this is the thing. You know, he's not really losing any rounds. You know, maybe the only rounds he's really losing are rounds he's getting knocked down in. He's only been dropped twice. Like, he's not really losing many rounds at all. You know, yes, people see that he got dropped twice and say he has defensive flaws. Yeah, he has some flaws, but other than that, for the most part, he's really, really good on defense. You know, great footwork, great head movement, great slips, great counters. Like, a lot of people just like to see those clips of him getting dropped and don't really talk about how actual good his defense is. His defense is amazing. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. A lot of people say that Devin, Shakur, Gervonta Davis are guys that are closer to Floyd in this era. Nah, it's Inoue, because of the dominance. Because you know, when it comes to style, not really much the same, but when it comes to, you know, dominance, like chasing greatness, you know, like how non-close these fights are, you know, I think it's safe to say that Inoue is the closest thing to Floyd in this era. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all next video. Jesus loves you. Peace.